The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Chicken head, chicken feet, chicken necks is all I eat.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a bucket full of chicken necks. It is Thursday, January 28th, 2016, my first Thursday as a 55-year-old man. As you know, my birthday was this past Sunday. I got so many warm birthday wishes from members of the brand, people who follow me on Twitter, Facebook, text messages. I want to thank everybody so much. All of those messages mean a lot to me. I have so much to go over today. I mean, I've got a list of stuff. I'm going to be all over the place. I know a lot of people were asking for a Lucha Underground review last night. I have my notes on Lucha tonight. I'm going to talk about that. But there's so many other things that I need to talk about. It's going to be a loaded show this week, as it always is. If you're not a member of the brand, you're going to get the first 10 minutes of this show. But please remember, you have 3 days to join the brand for less than $1 a week. That's $3.95 a month. You just go to vincerussobrand.com and use the code word brand. You'll get 6 days of video podcasting every single week. Some really good interviews are in the can. James Storm, Magnus, Mickey James, Pete Gas, to name a few. Mr. Backlund on the back burner. A lot of good interviews coming up. And you'll have access to everything as a member of the brand. As I said, we go 6 days a week doing video podcasts, and the only day we don't do it right now is Sunday. But I want to take care of business first quickly. I want to remind everybody about the Tna Plaque, my own personal plaque that was given to me as an original member of Tna. I am auctioning this off to the highest bidder. It's autographed on the bottom in the red, 19 autographs by the Tna Originals. We're going to use this money to send Jeff to WrestleMania so we can build the brand. He can help us get subscribers, to go to a convention with me at WrestleMania, sit there with his laptop. People can meet Jeff Lane, join up for the brand. So we're going to use this money towards that, and whatever's left over is going to go to the Jeff Lane Fund for all the work that he does for us. Right now, the bid is at $600. You have 3 days to get a higher bid. If you're a TNA fan, you're not going to get this anywhere else. The 19 people on this plaque received this, and a handful more was sold. This was back 8 years ago. You couldn't even get this right now if you wanted it. But just to go over it quickly, Amazing Red, Storm, Rude, AJ Styles, Shane Douglas, The Landscape Has Changed, Abyss, Eric Young, Andrew Thomas, Raven, Rudy Charles, 123, JB, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter, Mike Tenay, Don West, Mark Johnson, Vinny Rue, and Road Dogg. All autographed. This plaque weighs it's got to weigh at least 25 pounds. But there it is. Bidding is at official Vince Russo at gmail.com. The current bid is at $600. You got 3 days left to bid for it. Official Vince Russo at gmail.com. Also, I want to talk about Kayfabe Commentaries and the new DVD they have out, Raven's Wrestler Rescue. And it's where the wrestler Raven, the icon Raven, the legend Raven, picks wrestlers off of the indie scene, repackages them, works with them, helps them with their promos, helps them with their gimmicks, helps them with finishing moves, puts the Raven effect on it, then takes them back out on the independent scene to see if they go over, or quite frankly, if they're a fart in church. But nobody better to be behind this than Raven. This is other great concept by Sean Oliver and kayfabecommentaries.com. Raven's Wrestler Rescue. You can go to kayfabecommentaries.com and order your copy today. And I believe Timeline with Me is coming up. It might be released next week. I will definitely let you know. But that's that for that. We took care of all the business. Let's start off with my birthday. As I said, I turned 55 on Sunday. I had a nice day with my family. I'm gonna go over the gifts list. Not bad on the gifts list. I think the gift list was a little better than Christmas, and I think, quite frankly, it was because I came on here and cut a promo on everybody in the family for giving me crappy Christmas gifts, so they knew they had to step up with my birthday. Now, Will, who didn't give me anything for Christmas, his gift is still in the mail. I have not gotten his Christmas gift yet, so I can't rank that until I get it. When I get it, I'll let you know. VJ gave me an album, one of my favorite albums, AC/DC. Oh, geez, hold on a second. Let me show you. Hold on. AC/DC, here we go. Stiff Upper Lip, one of my favorite AC/DC albums. Listen, this was at the tail end of AC/DC. Their last two albums are entitled Black Ice and Rock or Bust. Before the last two, they had Ball Buster and Stiff Upper Lip. Stiff Upper Lip is one of my favorite albums. Stiff Upper Lip is one of my favorite songs. This is a great album, up and down, Stiff Upper Lip. There's so many great songs on this album. I definitely recommend it if you're an AC/DC fan. These are the kind of albums like Stiff Upper Lip, Ball Buster, that even if you're an AC/DC fan, you might not be familiar with them because they're later on in the catalog. But a Stiff Upper Lip is a great album. VJ got me that album. My daughter, I went to the record store. I picked up a couple used albums. I got it at a great price. The Jimi Hendrix Experience and Paranoid by Black Sabbath. I did not have either one in my library. I picked them up at a record shop, and my daughter paid for them for me. So those were really nice gifts. Of course, if you know Paranoid, I'm forever going to have a tie with that album because Iron Man is off of Paranoid, and I've used that as a theme song, or at least a knockoff a version of that for many, many years. My wife got me some really nice gifts. She got me that crate. If you could see it over there, I needed a crate for my records. She finally got me a nice crate. I would never spend the money on it. I always thought it was too expensive, but she got that for me. She got me this pillow, my boy Chewie. I love Chewie, my favorite character in Star Wars. I now put this on the back of my chair when I sit down. She got me a humidifier. I told you guys, I sleep on the couch in the living room. I watch TV late in the night. My wife snores. I got problems sleeping in the same bed. I sleep down here. It gets very, very dry. I wake up in the middle of the night. I can't even swallow. She got me a nice humidifier to add some mist into the room down here so I could breathe a little better, so that was a nice gift. So all in all, I think they did okay with my 55th birthday. Here's the thing that I'm popping for more than anything with the 55. I'll give you the positive and the negative. The negative is I'm 55 now, and now I'm starting to look closer at years when people have passed away. Like I look at Bowie, 69, Glenn Fry, 69. Do the freaking math. I'm 55 years old. That's 14 years from now. So that's the scary thing. You're really starting, you come face to face with your own mortality, and you're not going to be here forever, especially, people die, 75. That's 20 years from now. I'm way on the other side. I'm not a teenager. I'm not in my 20s. I got married at 22. I was working for the WWE at 32. I'm 55. I'm on the other side of all that. So now, you start looking at end game, whether you like it or not. But thank God, then you have your Abe Vigoda, Fish, Barney Miller, who passed away at 94. So, okay, I look at that. Who knows? Maybe I got 40 years left in the tank. Who knows? But it really brings you face to face with your own mortality. knowing you're on the other side, and knowing, man, you got to live life to your fullest in these years, for me anyway. The pettiness, the foolishness, the ridiculousness, I'm not going to deal with anymore. I'm just not going to care about it. I'm on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. There are more important things in my life. That's the bad part. Here's the great part. I get senior citizen discounts now, and I've already taken advantage of 2 of them in the last 4 days. I went to Goodwill. I got my 15% discount, and I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I get a free cup of coffee whenever I want as a senior citizen. I made my wife do research and write down all these senior citizen places for me. Arby's, my favorite fast food chain, 10% off. Chick-fil-A, 10% off or free small drink or coffee. Chili's, 10% off. Denny's, 10% off. Dunkin' Donuts, 10% off or free coffee. IHOP, 10% off. Jack in the Crack, up to 20% off. KFC, free small drink. Krispy Kreme, 10% off. Long John Silver's, it varies. Mickey D's, discount on coffees all day. Steak and Shake. The list goes on and on and on. I love this senior citizen discount business. I'm going to be taking advantage of this all over town. I can't get enough for being a 55. I love that. I'm happy. Again, thank you everybody for all the cards and letters and text and tweets and Facebook posts and everything else that you sent me. Okay, so much I want to go over today. I got a lot I want to talk about. I'm starting to watch more and more television. I want to see what's out there. I want to see what they're doing differently, in TV these days. As you know, me and my son have a script currently, Belle of the Brawl. It's in the hands of a production company in LA. Within the next couple of weeks, I should be putting the last finishing touches on it. Then they plan to go out and shop it, and we'll see what happens. Listen, I think it's a great show. I think it's hysterical. I'll put it up there to any other comedy that's on TV right now. But the fact that I'm going through this process, I want to really get familiar with what's on television. I'm going to give you a little synopsis. Some of the things I've been watching this week. There's a new show I watched. I believe it was on Tuesday, because Tuesday was a bad week for TV viewing on Tuesday. So, I kind of looked, through the channel selections to see what's out there. Now, I know The People versus OJ is starting on FX this Tuesday. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be glued to that every Tuesday. But I had to find some programming for Tuesday, so I saw a couple of first episodes of a couple of shows I want to talk to you about. There's a show on WGN called The Outsiders. This is about, mountain people that live up in the Appalachian Mountains away from society. They've got their own way of life, their own laws, their own rules and regulations. And now, the city wants to take the land that they're living on to do coal mine. There's a lot of valuable coal on the mountain. They want to kick these people out, take over the mountain, and I got to tell you, these aren't the nicest people in the world. They're savage-like almost. So there's going to be a showdown between the Appalachian Mountain people. There's going to be a showdown with the police. This is a very show. I'll tell you the one drawback of this show. For me anyway, with a Brooklyn, a New York, Italian dialect, the dialect is difficult to understand. I guess they talk Appalachian Mountainese, and at times it's difficult to understand. You really, really have to listen to what they're saying, but this looks to be The Outsiders, a magnificent show, very well made, great acting, great scenery, great producing. So you might want to check this out on Tuesday's WGN. Another show that I watched that I had been wanting to watch was Lucifer, literally basically about the devil living here on Earth in 2016. This is a very good show. I like the dialogue. The lead actor in this show is a guy by the name of Tom Ellis. I was not familiar with his work. charming guy, great character. The dialogue is great in this show as it relates to hell and Lucifer and the devil, and all that stuff. The storyline was like shoestring thin. I wasn't crazy about the storyline. It was very simplistic, very simple. But, the character of Lucifer, that's why I really, really enjoyed the show. Tom Ellis. And there is a woman in this show. I guess she used to be on Hawaii Five-0 and Chicago Fire. I never watched either one of those shows. Her name is Lauren German. She plays a police officer. She is drop dead gorgeous. Listen, I've said this all along. I've never seen a woman with dark hair and blue eyes that is not drop dead gorgeous, attractive. Lauren German, dark hair, blue eyes, drop dead gorgeous. So the combination of looking at her, the acting of Tom Ellis, the dialogue, I enjoy this show. Like I said, the storyline paper thin, but that's okay. I'm really starting to dig Shades of Blue Thursday nights on NBC with J-Lo and Ray Liotta. Man, it's about cops on the take, but now the FBI basically busted Jennifer Lopez's character, and she's working for them, and the head of the crooked cops, Ray Liotta, doesn't know it, and Liotta and J-Lo are tight. And man, this is typical Ray Liotta. If you liked Goodfellas, you'll love this show. When he finds out that the mole is his girl, J-Lo, hell is gonna break loose. This show is really, really, really growing on me. Another new show. This may be my favorite show so far. Only one episode has aired. It's on Thursday nights on FX. And it's Baskets with Zach Galifianakis. Listen, anything Zach Galifianakis says or does to me is freaking hysterical. I don't care if you put him in freaking Macbeth. The guy will make you laugh. I'm a huge Zach Galifianakis mark. This show, Baskets, was developed by Zach Galifianakis and Louis C.K., two of my favorite comedians of this day. So right there, it's a can't miss. And so far from the first episode, absolutely phenomenal. It's about Zach Galifianakis, who went to clown school in France, didn't quite cut it there, came to the United States, wanted to become a clown, got a job as a clown in a rodeo. It's fantastic. If you like the dry humor, it's absolutely fantastic. Louis Anderson, a legendary comedian, makes a big comeback here as, of all things, the mother of Baskets the Clown. In drag, Louis Anderson is hysterical. Watch it tonight. Baskets on FX. It's unbelievable. Couple other things I want to talk about. Yeah, I've been disappointed in Philly. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think last season was that good. So far this season, I liked the first episodes. I felt the last two were a little lackluster. Listen, man, when I'm sitting there and I'm not laughing that much as I want to laugh and as much as I love Philly and the crew and Mac, if I'm not laughing, I'm not laughing. And between last week's episode and this week's episode, listen, man, this is the 11th season of It's Always Sunny in Philly. And I told you, man, usually sitcoms ended after 9. Some of the best have ended it after 9. Seinfeld, Raymond, King of Queens, 9 and done. Philly is in 11 now. And from the first 3 episodes, I hope it gets better. But I hope they haven't overstayed their welcome, because this has really been an iconic show. Teen Mom, listen, I got to tell you this, and I'm going to say it again, and I don't care, okay? Farrah Abraham is so disrespectful to her mother in this show that I swear I literally at times want to put my fist through the television screen, grab her by the neck, rip her out, put her over my knee, and give her the spanking of my life. I have never, ever, ever, ever in my life seen a child so freaking disrespectful to their parents. It's disgusting. It's horrible. So I'm watching this, and I made the statement on Twitter that somebody really needs to throw this girl a beating. Listen, Nicki Minaj went on Twitter a couple of weeks ago and hammered Farrah for the exact same reasons that I am. Somebody needs to throw this girl a beating. I mean, honestly, it's unbelievable the disrespect that this girl treats her mother with. And of course, after I make that tweet, you know, there's a troll online. Oh, there's Vince promoting violence against women. Vince Russo's promoting violence against women. Listen, kiss my ass. I'll tell you right now, and I'm not going to be politically correct about this. If you're disrespectful to your freaking parents, you should get a beating. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a child. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're an alien. I don't care if you're a monkey. I don't care if you're a donkey. I don't care if you're a garden gnome. If you're disrespectful to your parents, you deserve a beating. You deserve the backhand. You wouldn't be here if your parents didn't put you on this earth or this planet. You have life because of your parents, for crying out loud. So that's it. Somebody needs to beat the ever-loving crap out of this girl once and for all. Please. Promoting violence against women. No, I'm promoting violence against disrespectful children to their parents. Yes, I'm promoting that. How's that? At another show, Mob Wives. Renee deserves a beating. Renee is the yenta. Renee is the troublemaker of this group. Renee always has been the troublemaker of this group. And I'm telling you, my girl, Drita, let's smack her around if you need to. Whatever you got to do. The trouble in this Mob Wives group is Renee. It's been Renee from day one. Watch every show. I heard this, and well, this one said that, and well, she gets everybody riled up and everybody saw. She's the troublemaker. You know what a yenta is? She's the yenta. She's the one starting all the trouble, not Drita. And I'm telling you, you push my girl Drita, there's going to be hell to pay. I'm telling you right now. Mob Wives, Wednesdays, the H1. All right, let's talk about some of the news. I'm all over the place here, but I'm going to cover all this. All right. And also, let me mention on my birthday, let me go back. I have one sibling, a sister, who's 4 years older than me. Just for the record, my sister did not call me, text me, send me a card, nothing for my birthday because she's still hot over the cologne stuff from Christmas. Remember the cologne story, which I did wind up giving her my Costco a membership number so she could get her discount off the cologne. So at the end of the day, I did the right thing. She's all pissed off about that because I called her out because I think she takes advantage of my elderly father, and I called her out on it. And so no birthday card, no shout out, no tweet, no present, no call, no nothing. My only sister, just for the record. Okay, let's go back now. Let's talk a little bit about the news. Mariah Carey got engaged, and that's not a story. I think this is going to be her third marriage. She was married to the Sony guy. She was married to Nick Cannon, and now this is her third marriage. But here's the thing. The billionaire, I guess she's marrying, I don't even know his name. I don't care what his name is, bought her a $7.5 million wedding ring. $7.5 million for a ring. Can you... There are countries not eating, like entire countries starving, children dying every freaking day that would kill for one half of a bun, and $7.5 million you're spending on an engagement ring. Can you freaking imagine this? Listen, I don't know what it is to have money that you don't know how to spend, or you have so much that you don't know how to do with it. But I got to tell you, I'd be pretty hard pressed to go out and buy a ring that costs $7.5 million. And I don't care who I'm marrying. Listen, I'll tell you right now, I'm not buying Rihanna a $7.5 million ring. I'm not buying Rihanna $1 million wedding ring. I'm not buying Rihanna A $10,000 wedding ring, maybe $1,000 I spent on Rihanna's wedding ring. That's it. 7.5 million freaking dollars. Please, man, help people with that money. What's the matter with you? What difference does it make whether Mariah Carey's got a $7.5 million wedding ring or a $750,000 wedding ring? What freaking difference does it make? Can you imagine if she loses this ring? Goes down the freaking sink when she's washing the dishes like she's never done a dish in her life? Here's a great story. The Kardashian clan has always been in a war with this Black China. Listen, I don't know what this Black China's talent is. She's all over TMZ. She's got money. She's some kind of a celebrity. I don't know what she does. I don't know if she's a rapper. I don't know what this Black China does. But anyway, the Kardashian sisters, they all hate this Black China. And a lot of it stems from, I guess, Black China used to date Tyga. I was watching Khloe Kardashian's show for 5 minutes yesterday, Cocktails with Khloe. And Tyga is on the show. And she's actually calling him Tyga, Tyga, She's actually calling him that, Tyga. Can you freaking imagine if somebody told me to call them Tyga? I say, listen, unless you're Winnie the freaking Pooh, I'm not calling you Tyga. Be a freaking man. You got a real name. What's your name? I'm calling you your name. If you're not gonna tell me your name and you don't want me to call you by your name, I'm gonna call you imbecile. How about that? I'm gonna say imbecile. When I say imbecile, you answer. How about that? I'm gonna call a grown man Tyga. But she's calling him Tyga. But anyway, the story is Black China used to date Tyga, imbecile, prior to Kylie, the youngest sister dating Tyga. So ever since Tyga broke up with Black China and started to date Kylie, there's all back and forth Twitter wars and all that nonsense. Okay. Here's the beautiful thing. Guess who shows up this week and starts dating Blac Chyna and even shacking up with Blac Chyna? None other than Rob Kardashian, the brother who has gone into seclusion. Nobody has really seen him or heard from him. He's kind of separated himself from the rest of these wackadoos. And now Rob is dating their number one arch enemy, Blac Chyna. I think this is absolutely phenomenal. I love this. I think it's tremendous. I applaud Rob. Listen, if anybody ever wrote a tell-all book, I would love it to be Rob Kardashian. I would love him to freaking just write a book exposing this family for who they really are. Listen, this is their flesh and blood who decided to separate himself from his own siblings. So now he's dating Blac Chyna. Good for you, Rob. Blac Chyna, power to you. All right. Couple of things I want to go to because I want to give you a little bit of a I want to give you a little Lucha Underground review, but I'm not there yet. There's a couple of things I want to say. Another part of the news, one of the teen moms from the second season, Caitlyn, got one of these, I guess, a Brazilian butt implants, Brazilian butt implants. So they showed you these pictures of the before and after of her surgery, and they're on TMZ, and the pictures are her naked butt with just like a big black box going through the crack. So you see the whole butt, but there's a black line going through the crack. And this got me thinking like about a lot of things, like that I think of these things. I think about these things. Listen, we all know when God created Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve were naked and free in the Garden of Eden. They were running around free. They could do whatever the heck they ever wanted, naked as jaybirds. The only thing was they couldn't touch the tree of knowledge and eat the apples. That's it. God said you could do whatever you want. Stay away from the tree. That's it. You don't touch the tree. Well, of course, Eve, the woman, ate the apple. Then the other jabron, Adam, had a bite. Next thing you know, they betrayed God. Now all of a sudden they've sinned. Now they got to cover up their body parts. They're not naked anymore. They're not free. They sinned. So there's consequences that come with sin. But here's my question. When they covered up and felt naked and they had to hide their bodies, they didn't have the freeness and the beauty of the naked body anymore that God gave them. Adam put a fig leaf on his ween. Why? Okay, so Eve covered up her private parts. Why did Eve decide to cover up her boobs? Adam did not cover up her boobs. So what? Adam covered up his junk. So why didn't Eve just cover up her female junk? What made Eve cover up her boobs? That from that moment on, when as men, we're not allowed to see the boobs. Listen, if the women aren't allowed to see the penis and we got to wear pants and shorts and underwears and all that cool, that's tit for tat. That's even Steven. So, we can't see the vagina. The women can't see the ween. I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that. But men are allowed to walk around with no shirts on. But women now cover up the boobs ever since, for whatever reason, Eve covered up the boobs. Why did Eve decide to cover her boobs? That's what I want to know. That's what I don't understand. Why didn't she just cover the private area, the reproduction area, like Adam did? That makes sense to me. The boobs don't reproduce. They reproduce milk, but that's okay. They don't, it's not a sexual organ like the vagina or the ween. So ever since Eve decided to cover up that, everybody all women covered up. Then women can't be topless. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I've never said this about myself before. I'm a breast man. Listen, there are guys that are ass men, and listen, I don't care how nice the ass is. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't care if it's the plum, if it's the cherry. I don't care what it is, the twerking, the tweaking. I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, a girl craps out her ass. End of story. I crap out my ass. The most beautiful woman in the world craps out of her ass. That's what the ass is for. You crap out of the ass. So I could never be an ass man, because every ass I see, I don't care whose it is, I know crap comes out of the ass. I'm not a big fan of that. The boobs are a whole different story. Now, I don't have boobs. I think boobs have character. You never seen two boobs that are alike. All boobs have their own personality. I like the texture of the boob. I like the feel of the boob. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm not a fan of the perky boob. A lot of times, the test is, can a girl hold a pencil under the boob? I like my woman to hold pencil under the boob. I don't like the perky boobs standing at attention. I like them to be a little meaty. Maybe a little sloppy, mind you, to be honest with you. I like a good Jessica Simpson boob. I like that type of a boob. I don't like the little standing at attention, perky boobs, with the headlights staring you at the eyes. You put the pencil. I don't dig that. I like the big and sloppy boobs. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. But the fact that we covered them up, and here we are in 2016, and we still don't know why we covered up the boob. I don't know why boobs, I know they're let the nip free type of thing. I know that Miley Cyrus is into that. I know that Demi Moore's kid is into that. They walk around topless here and there, free the nip. I'm all for free the nip. I don't understand why we're covering the nip in the first place, to be totally honest with you. Okay, another thing I'm going to talk about before I get to Lucha, I got a couple things. I want to tell you, I've been on my diet. I've walked now for 28 straight days. I'm probably walking about 4 miles every morning. I get up, I leave at about 7:30. Takes me about an hour. I've been doing that for 28 days. I started my strict diet roughly 4 days ago. I don't plan on getting off anytime soon. I want to get my weight under 200 pounds. I weighed myself after I ate like a slob on Saturday and Sunday, knowing that on Monday it was all going to change. When I turned 55, I'm going to start living healthier. It was all going to change. I know I'm drinking a Coke, but like this is habitual, and I only drink Coke Zero. And if I have one a day, it's a lot. But I'm 4 days on the diet. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to get healthy. Somebody's really been helping me online, through official Vince Russo at gmail.com that I really, really appreciate. I'm going to let you know how that goes as we go along. So far, so good. Let me give you my album of the week. I didn't even know this album existed. Let me tell you something. Albums are expensive. They're at least $20. They could be anywhere from like $20 to $40. I don't have money to go out and buy new albums. I just don't. So when I want to buy new albums, what I do is I go through all my stuff that I don't watch anymore. I'll trade in, I'll get credit, and then I'll get a new album. That's how I get my new albums, if you want to know. Other than that, it's Goodwill, thrift stores. I'll buy them used for no more than $5. So I traded some stuff in this week because I wanted to go out to a great store out here in Colorado called Trade Smart. And I found this album called The Beach Boys Party, Unplugged and Uncovered. I never saw this album before. I think it used to go by the name of just Party, Beach Boys Party. Yeah, where it says up top, Beach Boys Party. I think it used to go by the name of Party. But basically, this album was recorded live continuously with the Beach Boys just getting together and jamming and singing songs. And the thing that really caught my eye about it was they do a bunch of freaking Beatles songs on this album. And it must have been right around the time of Hard Day's Night era right there, because they do from Hard Day's Night, I Should Have Known Better, Tell Me Why, From Help they do You've Gotta Hide Your Love Away. And, hearing the Beach Boys do Beatles tunes are really, really awesome. And this is a one-of-a-kind album. First time I ever saw it, I grabbed it right away. They even do a Dylan tune, The Times They Are A-Changin'. That's a Dylan tune. Barbara Ann came off of this tune. But it's one continuous track of one record into the next. I recommend, even if you could only find this online and listen to it, I recommend it. I'm still waiting for my Monkeys Live album, 1967. Nobody's got me the Monkeys Live. I don't know what the problem is. It's not that expensive. I'm still waiting for that album to come in. Okay, so there's our album of the week. One thing I want to tell you is this. I got to get this off my chest. I think I'm supposed to tell you this, right? If you ever want some real spiritual meat, you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling beaten, you really want some meat and potatoes that'll immediately change the way you're thinking. I'm going to recommend you go to a site called Leading the Way. Leading the Way was a church that I went to in Atlanta, the Church of the Apostles. And the pastor or the teacher of Leading the Way is somebody by the name of Michael Youssef, Youseff, Michael Youssef, Leading the Way. You can go online. You can get his sermons every single week. I was absolutely mesmerized of every word that came out of this man's mouth. As a Christian leader and teacher, the guy is totally, totally unbelievable. Go to Leading the Way. Any sermon you want to watch, they're less than 30 minutes long. I'm telling you, you'll be thinking about it for the entire week. Dr. Michael Youssef. But the reason why I'm telling you this is I need to be praying more than I do, especially in the position that I'm in. And listen, I have not worked full-time for 4 years. I've been surviving on my podcasting and, some of the work I get from Wrestling Inc., personal appearance here and there. So like it really is a day-to-day thing since I have not been working full-time. Not working full-time and not being around people and working around people on a daily basis has changed me. For the last 4 years, I've been in this house spending a lot of time alone, talking to you at home, but I am alone. So I'm not connecting with people the way I should. And that's really the reason why I long for a regular job again. It's not that I want to work at TNA, and it's not that I want to work at the WWE. It's not that I miss wrestling. It's none of that. I miss working. I miss putting my nose to the grindstone and being in the fire, putting in 10, 12-hour days around good people, forming relationships, the team. I miss that. I really, really miss that. And I haven't been praying about getting a full-time job. And I watched Michael Youssef yesterday, and he was talking about, if we're not praying, and if we are praying and our prayers aren't being answered, that's because we've got a lot in the trunk that we're not clearing out, and we're not emptying our souls, and we're not emptying our hearts of the negativity that is stopping us from praying. For some reason, we're ashamed to pray. For the second reason, if we're praying and those prayers aren't being answered, they're not being answered for a reason. And that's because we have things inside of us that we know we need to take care of. Every one of us has these things. Have we wronged somebody? Have we done somebody wrong? Have we screwed somebody? Have we talked badly about somebody to others? Have we gone out of our way to apologize to those people? If we haven't and we owe them an apology, that might be what's keeping us back in our walk and what's keeping us from growing as individuals. Have we not forgiven somebody that we really need to forgiven? And I want to say right now, I've been carrying a grudge with John Gaborik for almost 2 years now. And listen, rightfully so in my mind, as far as I'm concerned. And he did a lot of things I'm not happy about. He treated me very disrespectfully. I feel he's in his position at TNA for a lot of the wrong reasons. And I've had personal issues as it relates to him. And you know what? I'm not going to let John Gaborik or anybody hold me back from clearing my soul and cleansing my conscience so that I can have communication with God and I can have no problem praying to him and having him answer my prayers because I have a clean conscience. I've attempted to do the right thing. I've confessed my sins. So from this point forward, I have no more ill will feelings towards that man. I have forgiven him. It is out of my system. I know I need to do that in order to move on. Now, from a professional level, that's not going to change the way I feel. I have a professional opinion, based on things that have happened, factual things that have happened. So in doing my job, I'm not going to, forget all that stuff that has happened. But as far as their personally, being a I don't want to say hatred. It's a very strong word, a grudge. As far as their personally being a grudge and me being upset with them and aggravated with him, that's gone. It's absolutely gone. It's not there. And I recommend this to all of you. If you've not done something right, and there's something inside of you that you need to let go of it. Ask God for forgiveness. If you owe the person a apology, apologize to that person. Make it freaking right. Clear the way of your communication with God so you can pray and you can get the things that you ask for. But if you know there are some things inhibiting you, that's going to inhibit your prayers. That's going to inhibit your walk. Come clean. Go to Leading the Way. Listen to my boy, Dr. Michael Youssef. You'll get a lot out of it. I'm telling you. That's my go-to place. All right. Let me finish this up with Lucha Underground. The show debuted yesterday. And I have to tell you, I'm going to be critical on this as I am of any other wrestling show I watch, because that's my job. I've made it clear this is my favorite promotion. I've had so many people from Lucha on this show. I've gone to Lucha. But my job is to be critical and honest, and I'm going to be critical and honest. Overall, no question about it, I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I'm going to nitpick. The negatives, I'm nitpicking a little bit because that's my job. I got to tell you the good, the bad. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the show for many reasons. Let me go over from top to bottom. First of all, they opened up with a Vampiro Vignette, that he's been away for the last 6 months, getting psychological help. This was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I saw today Austin commented on it. You will never see another wrestling show, Impact, WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor. You will never find another wrestling show open this way, ever, ever. This is the first scene of season 2. Vampiro in a mental ward, more or less. Phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. The look of it, the feel of it, the way it was produced, unbelievable. I absolutely love this. Okay, now here's a problem. Stryker picks Vampiro up from the hospital. From there, the next scene is Stryker and Vampiro at the announce positions, and they're back to their old announcing selves and their old announcing ways, just like we saw them last week at season 1. So what happened in that first segment with Vampiro in the psych ward, Stryker coming to pick him up, the conversation that they had and the feel of that, and now we went to an absolute extreme of they were in announcer mode. And to me, it was a disconnect. There had to be a better way to segue from that first scene to seeing them at the announcer. And maybe we didn't see them at all. Maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe we should have just went into the match and we should not have seen Stryker and Vamp because they looked and sounded like announcers after this piece of drama that was incredible. So I would have probably laid that out a little different way, my opinion. We now find out that Katrina is in charge, of the temple. She's calling the shots because her man, Mil Mortis, is the champion. And, the vignettes that they shoot on this show, I'm just telling you, they make the Impact and the freaking WWE vignettes, they make them look like Romper Room. And I could understand TNA because they have no money. They have Romper Room money. So the vignettes are going to look like Romper Room. I understand that. But WWE has money out the wazoo. And their vignettes look like freaking Romper Room. They look like, see Spot Run, see Dick and Jane. That's what they look like compared to these pieces of art at Lucha Underground, because that's what they are. They're pieces of freaking art. And I'm going to say this too. The acting isn't the best. Sometimes, these guys and girls are wrestlers. They're not actors. So the acting isn't as up to par as the producing. And quite frankly, if it's me, I'm going to keep shutting it down, telling them, I think you could do better. I think you could do better. I think you could do better until they nail it. So the acting is not quite up to par as the production of these vignettes, but that will also come in time. But first of all, when you talk about the backstage vignettes, nobody touches Lucha Underground. And I keep thinking about, Impact, Destination America. Oh, we're tearing back the curtain. We're doing this. They didn't do shit. They did the same exact wrestling show that they're doing now. Nobody touches Lucha when it comes to production, not even the WWE, who has God knows how much more money than they do. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the combination of Katrina, Evilise, and Melissa Santos, the ring announcer. I don't know if there's ever been a combination of three of the most beautiful, exotic, strong, charismatic women in any wrestling promotion in the same time ever. You could build an entire promotion around Melissa Santos, Evilise, and Katrina. That's how strong these girls are. Not only in looks, they are smoking red freaking hot, but appearance. They are strong, respectful women. You buy them. You believe them. And at the same time, they're exotic and they're sexy and they're dark. And it's enough reason to watch this freaking show. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I've worked with a lot of female wrestlers and I love them all. I love every single one of them I ever worked with. But the more and more I watch Evilise in that ring, there's something so special about her. And the fact that both the WWE and TNA, both of them, had the opportunity to get Evilise and Katrina, both of them, and both of them passed, that's telling you that there are people in the wrong places at both companies. If you could not see that these girls had something to offer to a wrestling company, then you don't deserve to be in that spot. Now, I've heard the arguments, that maybe there were attitude problems, this and that. You know what? You show me a young athlete that knows they're good, that doesn't have an attitude. That doesn't exist. If you're young and you're good and you have a chip on your shoulder, an attitude usually comes with that. That's part of the package. The Young Bucks had an attitude. And as much as maybe I banged heads with them, I respected them for having that attitude. Maybe Evilise had an attitude. Maybe Carey had an attitude. So what? They're freaking money. And now they're paying off in droves in Lucha Underground. Another thing I don't like, listen, I get the Lucha Libre style of wrestling. I get it. I understand it. That's what they do. That's their tradition. I don't mind it in Lucha. But a lot of times, they're standing there as stunt dummies so their opponent can hit them with whatever move they've laid out. And that happens a lot in Lucha. Like they'll just stand there and wait, for the guy to come off the rope. They'll just stand in the corner and wait for the guy to set them up. It happens a lot. To me, because it's not as quick a pace as it should be in getting into those moves, it takes a little of the reality of the match out of it for me. But that is me. Listen, the moves are great. The chances they take, you can't take that away from them. But a lot of times it looks like, it looks like they're choreographing a match, just like, two people from Dancing with the Stars would be laying out their dance routine. It looks a lot like that in Lucha Underground. That's one of the things I don't like about it. Here's the thing overall I love about the show. And I'm going to give the biggest credit in the world to the balls of Chris DeJoseph. The ball sack of Chris DeJoseph, the head writer of Lucha Underground, the producer of the show. The very first show of season 2 to have a match where the Lucha Underground title is on the line, the champion is in the ring, and the challenger is a woman is unfreaking believable. I stand up. I give Krista Joseph a standing ovation for having the balls to think outside the box. The first show of the series, Mil Mortis versus Eva Lees for the Lucha Underground title. That would never, ever, 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 ever happen in mainstream wrestling. You would have to go through so many levels of approval for that to happen. It would never happen. And you know what? All those in the internet wrestling community that are burying it, and I know they are without seeing the comments, you can kiss my big fat white behind, because there isn't any casual fan on this planet that might have been surfing through the channels and seeing Eva Lees against this beast and weren't mesmerized to stop and watch and see what is going to happen. That's the difference between, just another wrestling match and a spectacle where you have a girl with an attitude, tremendous build, tremendous worker going against a beast who's the champion. You're going to watch that. You know how we all stop and look at the car wreck? That's the car wreck you're going to stop and look at. And I give all the credit in the world to DeJoseph. Nobody would have the balls to do that today. Nobody. And I'm telling you this, before all is said and done with this Lucha Underground, you're going to see a female world champion. I guarantee you're going to see a female world champion. And guess what? For all you David Arquette haters, I don't have a problem in the world with that. Because wrestling's supposed to be anything can happen at any time. Freaking Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, for crying out loud. Anything can happen at any freaking time. And if the situation warranted itself and presented to himself, let's do something different and shake it up. And hats off to Krista Joseph. First Lucha, Eva Lees versus the champion Mil Mortis. God bless you, Chris. Nobody in this industry would have had the balls to ever do that. And that's what people are going to be talking about. And that's what's missing from the wrestling industry. I think I covered everything. There you have it. I want to remind everybody again, guys, please renew. Please renew. You got 3 days to get the $3.95 price. If you cancel your membership and then renew it at $3.95, it'll go into automatic renewal. So you'll never have to renew again. It'll keep rolling it over for you at the $3.95 price, and you can cancel at any time. Anytime you want, you can cancel, but you won't have to remember to renew every single week. So please take advantage of that. Your renewal is just as important as a new member. Remember the Tna Plaque. Official Vince Russo at gmail.com. We have until the 31st to take advantage of that. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back here tomorrow. Jeff and myself, Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Dirt. We'll cover all the news of the week. Until then, take care, everybody.
The people want to hear from me, Rob Van Dam.
Timeline, the history of ECW, the series that retells hardcore history, presents Rob Van Dam, covering 1999.
I looked at WWE as a sellout. Like, I didn't want to go there.
This no-holds-barred interview with superstar RVD reveals all about ECW in 99.
Okay, drank it with a beer. What was that? He said, morphine.
This and more spellbinding editions of the series available at shootinterviews.com.